Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a staff action plan. I'm also going to touch on how to update and discontinue the plan and briefly show you how to do a tab checklist. Before creating a staff action plan, it is suggested that you complete the following. Update the IDF and IDF extension, complete and approve ISP programs, or you might be calling them individual goals, and complete and approve any needed IPOPs. And this is if you're using the module within Therap. The staff action plan is an essential document for providers in New York. However, the staff action plan can be used by providers outside of New York if they choose. However, it's important to remember that changes will occur based on New York state regulations. Therap has user guides available for any modules you're working on. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to click on Help and Support at the bottom of your page. And once you click on Help and Support, you'll be able to search for any subject that you're looking for. I had brought up the Staff Action Plan overview. This page will give you the suggested plan workflow for a Staff Action Plan and any of the user guides you would need for that, which we're going to go through most of this today. Let's begin with how to create a staff action plan. From your dashboard, you're going to click on Individual tab. And then you're going to scroll down to the section of ISP and Staff Action Plan and choose New. Then you're going to select the program and then select the person that you are. When the plan comes up, you will see that it automatically gives a form ID. It says the status is new, and it tells you who is writing the plan. The individual name and individual ID comes over from the individual data page. The Medicaid number also comes over from the individual data page. The care coordination organization comes from the IDF extension. The start date should be the date the plan is going to go into effect, and you want to ensure this date is correct, as once it's approved, you cannot update that. The end date, that is comes into play later when you're discontinuing the plan and wanting to start a new plan. Type of habilitation service, that's really important to make sure that is the right type of service based on the plan you're creating. Today we're doing an IRA. The IRA type is important as well. It's important when it comes to creating tab checklists and billing. Today we're doing supervised IRA. Also, if you're writing a SEMP staff action plan, it's important to pick the correct type as well. The service plan meeting date, that would be the last time that you met, had a life plan meeting, or any kind of meeting that would justify creating a staff action plan. We're going to go back just for this training purpose. The plan I'm going to start today is going to be April 1st. So I am going to say we had a meeting March 16th. And important that we do a start date here as well. Anything with a red asterisk, you want to make sure that you're completing that. Last revision date, that'll automatically populate once you update the plan. The residence and service location comes from the site information from the program, or the residence where this person lives. The service provider, that automatically populates as well, and that would be your agency's name. Frequency of service, this is based on regulations of your agency and state guidelines, so you want to make sure that that's matches what they're referring. Daily for IRA, ongoing. The assessments area is optional. You may want to enter any assessments that are needed on a regular basis here. Maybe a hot water assessment, something of that nature. Add, remove valid outcomes. This is a section where you would want to add any valued outcomes for the person. And it's also the spot where you will be attaching any ISP programs. Once that is chosen, you'll have a spot to add ISP programs and valued outcomes. Once you're done adding those, you would want to click Done. This takes you back to the plan, and if you scroll back down to section 2, you will see that each valued outcome has its own box created. At this point, you will want to add any ISP programs. There are 2 different options for adding ISP programs. The first box that you could choose would be if you're creating the ISP programs as you're creating the plan. This way might be a good option if you are not the person who approves your staff action plan and you need to submit the plan. If you choose this option, this will let you start the ISP program here, and then you'll have to go back to the ISP program module to complete the rest of the ISP program before you're able to approve this plan and submit it. So it's a little bit more steps, but again, if you're not the one who's approving the plan, it might be a good option. Today I'm going to show you the second way, which is why in the beginning we suggested that you create your ISP programs first. When you click to add the ISP programs, you will see any approved ISP program for this person. This person happens to have some ISP programs in another program, so you're going to want to make sure that you're choosing the correct program for your staff action plan. Once you choose to link that, this will bring over all the information from within the ISP program, the goals, the staff actions, rather, that the staff do to assist the person to work towards this ultimate valued outcome. You also have an option, anywhere you see a blue link, you can click on that. This will be a viewable of the ISP program. You will not be able to make changes here, but you'll be able to view it. If you do need to make changes at this point, you would want to go back into the ISP program module and update that there. Other 2, you can add more than one ISP program to a valued outcome as long as they are in relation to what the person is working on. Section 3 is the safeguard section. This is a free text section for any needed safeguards for the person, or if you are wanting to attach any safeguards or IPOPs from another location, you can attach that here. If you're using the IPOP section within Therap, you would want to use section 4 for any safeguards. You could add and remove IPOPs that are created within the module within your account. So when I click that, I see that this person has 2 different IPOPs. I'm going to attach that. And then also it gives you a blue link to a view only of the IPOP. Section 5 is also optional. It's a comments section for any additional information that you may need to add for the individual. Maybe one example would be the therapeutic leave days statement. Section 6 is also optional. It's an attachment area. It's important to remember that there's a 3 MB per document limit and a 10 MB limit for the total for the section itself. An example of this, maybe you listed an assessment in section 1 that you reviewed. You may want to attach it here if it's an assessment that's not completed in Therap. This is the point where you are going to want to either save, submit, or approve the staff action plan. Depending on your role is what you will be doing next. If you are the one who approves your plans, then you'll be clicking approve here, which is what we're going to be doing today. You also have an option to save. If you save this to work on later, it will be in your work list. So you'll be able to see that there in your to-do tab from your dashboard. Submitting, this will submit it and it will show up to in someone's dashboard who is responsible for approving your plans in their to-do tab in the approve section. Today we're going to approve it. It'll give you a warning saying the start date cannot be changed. So let's just say, well, that's a good option to make sure that we have that correct date, which is good. We're going back, as I said, because I have some data in there. So we're going to hit approve, and we're going to hit OK. Once you hit approve, you will get that notification that has been successfully approved. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to search the plan when you need to update the plan. From your individual tab, you're going to go back to the Staff Action Plan area, Staff Action Plan Search. Choose the individual. And we're just going to look at the approved for now. We've got 3 approved at the moment. We want to go to the one we just approved. In order to make edits to this Staff Action Plan, you will want to see this form in dynamic mode. So you would click here to put it in edit mode. Now this is if you're updating the plan for any reason. Let's pretend that this was a 6-month review and there were no changes. I'm just going to put date here. You can just put anything, Austin. Once you choose that and hit update, you will get a notice that it has been successfully updated. I just want to show you what that looks like now once you've updated it. The last revision date will take that review date that you entered and place it there. And you'll also have a section in the update summary of when the review was. So every time you add a review or update, you'll have a little notification here. Notice it says the day I did it, but also it has the review date. Now we'll go through a couple of options where you either want to copy this plan into a new draft because there is a review and there are changes, or you just want to discontinue this and start fresh. It's totally up to the person or your agency and your processes and the way you would rather do that. Again, you would search the plan, put it in dynamic mode, and you'll see that you have options to either copy or discontinue. You can copy this to a new draft, and then it'll create a brand new staff action plan for you with a new start date. The start date, you are going to want to make sure that it's the day after you'll be discontinuing the current approved plan. You cannot have overlapping dates. You can have 2 approved plans for the same program. However, one of them must have an end date in order to have 2 approved plans in place. Your other option is discontinue. Again, in order to discontinue, you must have an end date, and then your next plan must be the day after that, or at least a day past that date. That concludes how to create a staff action plan. I want to quickly show you how to create a HAB checklist. From your individual tab, when you scroll down to staff action plan, you can create a HAB checklist. You're going to select the program, and you're going to select the person. Now remember, this is the HAB type. We chose supervised IRA. We're going to do April because I have some fake data. We do want to see the ISP data, so we're going to leave those alone. April 2020. Include attendance data. Now, if you're using attendance at your agency, you would want to choose yes here. I'm going to go with no because I don't have any attendance for this person in my demo account. Click generate. Now, this can be used for a monthly summary. It's going to give you all the pertinent information on the heading. It's also going to show you all of the staff actions, the goals that he's working on, the scoring that was completed on that particular data. If you do click on the blue links, you will see the actual data that was taken that day. If you would want to save this report, you would name it. You have 10,000 characters here to write any pertinent information for the month for that person. And the person writing this, once they click save, the electronic signature will be placed here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to save it so you can see what it looks like. And then you'll see that my signatures are there. Now, if you want to search reports that you create, go to Individual ISP Data Search Report. We just did a HAB checklist. And the individual. And you'll see I had another one previously, but we're going to look at this one we just did. Now you are able to delete this, but you are not able to make updates on this. So if there is an error, you would want to create a new HAB checklist and then delete the incorrect checklist. And that completes our training today. I hope you found it useful and helpful. Please remember, if you need to contact us with any questions, to use the resources, our help and support page, our feedback, live help, and you also have access to our website. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
As always with our Training Academy courses, after you've taken this course, you can reference it at any time or rewatch sections as needed. If you didn't pass the quiz the first time around, we're not going to penalize you for retaking the course. We want you to get this right. Thanks for watching.